This video is sponsored by Skillshare, but more about that coming up soon. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, it is so great to have you. I'm Antoinette, a New Zealander living in Germany. There is no denying that I have been very much influenced by Germany and German culture and mentality in so many ways, but in saying that, I will always identify as a New Zealander. I have picked up on so many German habits since living here, and along the way I have actually lost some of my New Zealand habits, which I am going to be talking about. So I'm going to jump into that really soon, but first I would like to give a big thanks to today's sponsor, Skillshare. I do talk about Skillshare a lot on my channel, but for those of you who are not familiar with Skillshare, it is an amazing online learning community for creatives and curious people, where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey. Skillshare offers thousands of inspiring classes in a wide variety of creative subjects, including graphic design, freelancing, language learning, marketing, video editing, photography, and so much more. What I love about Skillshare is that it is designed for all different types of people. You may be an absolute beginner and you just want to dabble a little bit in a creative subject, maybe painting, photography, something like that. You may want to start a YouTube channel like me, but have absolutely no idea where to start. With Skillshare, you will be able to learn how to do this step by step. There are so many amazing classes on this topic. So if you're interested in exploring your creativity, or you have a specific skill that you're wanting to learn, then Skillshare is the perfect place to start. I actually have a really great deal for you. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click on the link in my description will receive a free 1-month trial to Skillshare. Okay guys, so let's get into it. In no particular order, one of the New Zealand habits I have lost since living in Germany actually has to do with the way that I speak English. So I still have a New Zealand accent, there is no doubt about that, but the style of the way I speak in Germany compared to how I spoke in New Zealand is a little bit different. So in New Zealand, we use a lot of slang. We just sort of have this style of speaking that is very distinctively Kiwi. I soon realized when I moved to Germany that I had to change a lot of the words that I was used to using in New Zealand when I was speaking to Germans, but not only Germans, other native English speakers from different parts of the world. I would be having a regular conversation with people in English, and I would often be met with looks of pure confusion. People just didn't understand what I was saying when I said certain words, and I was not aware that some of the words I was using were just things that we say in New Zealand, and people from other parts of the world don't use these words. For example, I would say things like sweet as. I've even noticed my husband throwing in some of these New Zealand phrases when he's speaking to people in English from other countries, and they will look at him really confused and he's wondering what he's doing wrong, and then he clicks, oh, it must be a Kiwi thing. So I've definitely learned when I can use this New Zealand slang and throw in these certain words and when I shouldn't, and I should stick to standard English, more of an international English. So another New Zealand habit that I have lost since living in Germany has to do with the way I respond to people when they are sharing an achievement in their life, something wonderful that's happened in their life, or just something that they have achieved that's really, really great. In New Zealand, we pride ourselves on being humble and modest and not showing off about achievements and not throwing it in people's faces if we have achieved something really, really great. But on the other hand, if you're talking to a New Zealander and you share an achievement, something that you have done that is really impressive and something that you can be really proud of, you will be met with disapproval and dismissal, because you always need to be modest. In New Zealand, you can't talk about achievements, and New Zealanders don't like it if you're showing off about something that you've done that's great. In Germany, it's absolutely fine and normal to talk about your achievements and your success, and Germans don't do this in a boasting way, but they don't have any problem telling you that, you know, they have a promotion at work, or they have bought a house, or their child has been accepted into a really good school or something like that. In New Zealand, we have something called the tall poppy syndrome. If you've never heard of the tall poppy syndrome, just imagine a beautiful field filled with poppies, beautiful poppy flowers. The mentality we have in New Zealand is that all of these poppies have to be completely even, and if one of these poppies grows higher than the rest of the poppies and starts sort of showing off and looking more beautiful and more grand than the other poppies, it has to be immediately chopped down. This is something that New Zealanders do. It is a real problem in New Zealand because everybody likes to downplay their achievements and they won't actually share their achievements to the full extent, out of fear of being shot down, because nobody likes a show off, nobody likes somebody who brags about things, and that's our whole attitude in New Zealand. So people don't like to shine, and this is where a lot of bullying comes from in New Zealand schools. New Zealand schools have a high rate of bullying, and it has a lot to do with the tall poppy syndrome, because if anybody appears to be achieving more than other students or they are shining in any way, then people are rude to them and mean to them. Not all New Zealanders are like this, but it is a problem in New Zealand. I still have this New Zealand mentality that I need to be modest and not show off and downplay my achievements, but my reaction to people who share something great that has happened in their life or something they may have achieved is very different. Instead of sort of looking at them like, oh, good for you, I will react with excitement for that person. Oh, that's great, that is awesome. And I genuinely feel excited and happy for that person. But in New Zealand, I've been kind of like brainwashed into reacting a certain way if somebody is sharing an achievement or something great that they've done. If you're my friend, you can talk to me about anything. If you achieve something really great in your life, I want to hear about that, because I am proud of you and I think you have every right to share the highlights of your life and your achievements, and I'm here for you in the good times, the bad times, and I don't want you to ever feel like you have to hide anything from me out of fear of being judged or being cut down. Okay guys, so last but not least, a New Zealand habit that I have definitely lost since living in Germany has to do with what I wear. In New Zealand we have a very sort of relaxed, casual culture as far as what you wear. Anything really goes outside of the home. So you will see people in the supermarket in New Zealand wearing jogging pants, you will see them wearing bare feet, you will see them wearing workout gear, you may even see New Zealanders wearing pajamas in the supermarket. No one cares, it's not a big deal what you wear. In New Zealand, anything goes. In Germany, on the other hand, people are a lot more sort of conscious about what they wear. You would not likely see somebody wearing even workout gear in the supermarket. In Germany, it's sort of culturally unacceptable, and so I'm a little bit more cautious about what I wear outside the home. If I go to the supermarket, the butcher, the baker, whatever, I will definitely make a little bit of an effort. If I'm taking my little boy to kindergarten, I won't even wear sweatpants. I will make sure I wear, you know, my jeans or some pants or, you know, a nice coat and a scarf or something like that. I just put in a little bit more effort. And I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, or it's just, it is what it is. In Germany, people think about what they wear a little bit more than in New Zealand. I'm not saying that New Zealanders are not fashion conscious, because there are a lot of very stylish people in New Zealand, but being casual and not dressing up and just wearing whatever you feel like is also acceptable in New Zealand. So I definitely think that is a New Zealand habit that I have dropped since living in Germany. When I first came here, I would wear my sweatpants to the supermarket, and my husband kind of questioned it and asked me why I was wearing them to the supermarket, and I was so confused. I was like, why can't I wear my sweatpants to the supermarket? And he said, oh, you can if you want, but you know, Germans don't really do that. And then I kind of realized, okay, you don't really see many people dressed like that out and about. So anyway guys, that is all I've got for this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I actually delve a lot deeper into some of these topics than I was planning to, and it really got me thinking quite deeply about New Zealand culture and German culture and the differences, and I've actually come up with a few ideas and topics I can talk about in the future. So let me know if you're interested in hearing more about New Zealand mentality, German mentality. I hope I haven't offended too many people in this video. I am a New Zealander. I will always be a New Zealander, and just because I may not agree with every aspect of New Zealand culture, It doesn't make me any less of a Kiwi, and it doesn't take away my love for my country and my homeland. The same goes with talking about Germany. I may talk about certain aspects of German culture that I don't agree with or that I struggle with, but that doesn't take away my love for Germany. Also, I just wanted to remind you that the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click on the link in my description will receive a free 1-month trial to Skillshare. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, then don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. I would love you to consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. Feel free to connect with me on Instagram, and I will see you again really soon. Bye!